What is happening?
Hello. What's up, Mr. Kitchens?
How are you, sir?
Doing great. Came back from beautiful Key West to like 45, 50 degrees and rain, but now Ohio's got 68 and sunny, so we're going to hang on to as many of these days as we can get. How are you
For
doing?
sure. Doing good, man. It got, it's been cloudy and overcast. At least we still have the warmth. It's not cold, so it's always good.
Good, brother.
What's happening, everybody, man? Al, before we jump in, just want to welcome everybody into, Tuesday, our conversation with the Honey Badger Nation around, really anything that you guys are struggling with, any constraints, anything that you're wrestling with, either in your business with production or with your agent attraction efforts, or just anything in general you're dealing with leadership wise. We're here to talk about it. Want to remind everybody tuning in that honeybadgernation.com is your go-to resource. I know, Al, you want to share some stuff that pertains to the Honey Badger app and some funnels and some traffic things that we're dealing with. And I just want to remind you guys listening in, right? And Al, it was so great having you come into Kitchen Table, and I just feel that event is just foundational for everybody that's really serious about growing and then looking to kind of scale their business. But from a business perspective, doesn't matter if you're looking for working with buyers, sellers, or trying to grow and attract more real estate agents, you have to understand the theory of constraints. And first and foremost, make sure that you guys are clear on what your goals are. What is the goal? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? And are you hitting the goal or not hitting the goal? If you're hitting the goal, great. You know what you get to do? You get to raise the goal. But if you're not hitting the goal, and once you raise the goal, then you're no longer hitting it. So when you're not hitting it, then it comes into, well, why not? What is the constraint? What is slowing us down from hitting the goal? And then, what are all the ways to overcome that to be able to hit it, and where you have to break it apart into these three things, because I'm going to kind of tee it up for you, Al, to kind of talk about what we were talking about offline before coming on. It's only three things. It's traffic, it's conversion, and it's fulfillment. Fulfillment is just getting results to the promises you're making to generate the traffic. And we've seen that, right? We've seen a lot of people come in that make a lot of empty promises that they can't keep. They can't get the results that they're promising. So you got to make sure that whatever you're promising, you can keep, you can get results, because that's all people buy. People buy results. That's all they care about. Whatever you're promising, you got to make sure you're helping them get that result. But it comes down to traffic and then converting that traffic to have the opportunity to get them the results. But Al, I want to tee it up for you a little bit, just some of the projects and things that you guys are working on to help with traffic.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying, there's a lot of honey badgers that are innovators and leaders and that have products out there like GoGo, amazing product. We got Levi with his YouTube, obviously Michael and Woods, and then ours as well. And I think that the thing that everyone has to keep in mind is I don't think that there is a one size fits all. I was just on 2 recruiting calls today, and it was with a gentleman, and he's probably in his mid 60s. He's got that bigger still in him, and he wants to take another run. He's partly retired, but he loves real estate. He wants to jump in, and he's seen some things that it just wasn't a fit for him. He's like, I can't see myself getting out there and shooting all those videos that Levi does. Like, it's just not for me, right? And then there's others that say, you know what, I'm not into that whole online lead generation. I'd rather shoot the videos and attract business to me that way. Both are right. There is no wrong. It's whatever you're going to execute, commit to, and do every single day, and get up out of bed and do it again the next day. And I just wanted to comment on that because, what we're doing, some people, hey, maybe they'd rather put videos up on YouTube, and I've gone down that route and that rabbit hole myself. Spent a lot of money, had a full-time videographer, had a full-time content manager, and I can tell you, I kept up with it for a few months, well, maybe about 6-9 months or so, and I was like, man, I was getting exhausted shooting all those. Like, I could do it, but for me personally, I couldn't commit to that level of content and video for the next 10 years. Now, I'm not saying that someone else shouldn't. I'm just saying this was for me. I've always been a lead generator. I love getting on the phones, making that appointment, hitting it that way. And that's just always been me. And I've always mixed it up with video, just not at that like Levi level. And so, yeah, what we're working on for Honey Badger Nation in the app right now, and it's already ready to go. We just have a few little edits to make, and it's going to be live. But the one thing the app hasn't have, because it's been a real one-to-one type of an app, meaning you have them in your phone already, you upload their contact to the app, and then you send them an item of value. We've loaded tons of items of value, such as the 8 stages document, which is just invaluable for anybody, depending on where you're at. There's a stage for every single person who would get that item of value, and people love it. But there's never been a true top of funnel, meaning an offer that you can make somebody to give somebody something for free where they can opt in, get it, and now they're a warm prospect for you to follow up on for agent attraction. And so we've done that, and Coach Burt, Jay, and myself, we launched the book $1 Million Follow-Up for Real Estate Agents a few months back. And Jay and I, in our recruiting funnel this week, are launching the book funnel in addition to drive more traffic, basically into our funnels. The next step for us would be then to drive them to the webinar. But we wanted to make it available to all of Honey Badger Nation to also offer that book for free. And so we have a book funnel. It's already in the app. We can't use it just yet until we make those edits, which should be this week. So for sure on Monday, it's going to be ready to use. And we're excited about it. Like, this is something that anybody that has the app can get that link. You can run paid traffic to it. You can just put it, you can post it. You can send it to anybody that's in your phone, any prospects on your list. And it's nothing to do with EXP. It's straight the follow-up system that Coach Burt really, built out. It's his system. And then we took it and tweaked it for real estate. And you can give it to your prospects for free. And it's a great deposit to make into the relationship bank account that you have with these people. I know Sheplak always said it. It's about making as many deposits as possible before you expect to have a withdrawal. And we've been preaching that for years. I live by it. And now we just have a new tool to use. We're stoked about it because it's really what everyone's been needing, and the programmers with Rapid Funnel, we asked, they were like, yeah, I don't think we can do that, and exactly how you want it. Well, they figured it out, and kudos to them for executing on it, and it's going to be ready to use in a few days here.
I love it. And if you guys are kind of curious what the heck we're talking about, what the app is about, is you can go to honeybadgernation.com, where you can access and get the Honey Badger app is there. That's your go-to resource, honeybadgernation.com. Being able to tap into everything is at that point. And Al, what you're talking about, you can utilize that in a couple ways, right? You could utilize it to people that don't know you as kind of as a lead magnet that then exposes them to your another offer, maybe your core offer, which could be either join your team or align with you to join your organization, which would be your core offer. And these are different things to get people into that you can expose them to. And so it's also like you said, a value add to even people that are there that you already kind of maybe know, right? That are a little bit warm already. You're just making a deposit because, follow up is one of the key components. Probably once you get somebody, instead of turning and burning, being able to go deep on the follow up process to be able to get somebody, to want to move forward with you. Because the thing, Al, is that sometimes we get them in there and we haven't built enough credibility or enough trust yet, or they don't believe that you have a process or a path to help them achieve the result that they're looking for. So there's some things that go in, and man, I don't know, Al, have you dove into, where are you at with Hermosi's stuff? Have you gone through $100 million leads yet?
Yes, I probably have maybe 2 more chapters, maybe 1 chapter left. I'm right at the end. It's amazing. I think that anybody listening here should get 2 books. You mentioned the $100 million leads. That would be the second one you should get. You should get $100 million offers and read it first, and $100 million leads and read that second. They have them both on audio. You can get them Apple Store or Audible. But
yeah. So showing the picture here, Al, is the purple one is $100 million offers, and then the blue one is going to be $100 million leads. Hermosi has it on his podcast. You can go get them for free. Like if you're not wanting to make the investment, get it on Amazon, shipped to your door, or if you don't want to download it on Audible, you can go find it on Hermosi's website on his podcast, and you can download it for free. Like that's how much he believes in it. But he breaks it down in there. He breaks it down in $100 million leads. He gives his whole business model. It's all there. He doesn't hide anything. He gives everything away, which is a great lesson, for all of us to follow. And what I would tell you guys is, and this is what Al just had mentioned earlier, there's a lot of real estate agents that are have that entrepreneurial spirit, but I would tell you guys, imitate before you innovate. Imitate before you innovate.
Yeah. And just looking at what you just showed them, the 2 books, okay? The reason we put this book funnel in is because we're actually using this in our own funnel, in our own business every day to generate top of funnel new business. And Alex Hormozi does the same thing with those books. He didn't write those books to sell them for profit. He wrote those books to give away as a lead magnet, as a way to draw more people into the top of his funnel, so that he might do business with some of them. Most of them he won't do any business with, but some of them he will, for his business model, which is basically, his business model right now. He doesn't even sell courses or anything. He's all about partnering with current businesses that are struggling, and he partners with them as an equity owner, and then helps them blow up and double their business and really grow their profitability. That's his business model right now. And he literally breaks down I guess you can say, like, you can think of it as his processes, his methodology is what I was trying to think about. And it's the same that Frank Kern and all of them. It's moving the free line, giving as much value as you possibly can up front to make it almost irresistible to do business with you, because they're giving so much value. And so we are mimicking and copycatting, what the best of the best are doing. So like you just said, John, I would recommend just copycatting. Just do it before you innovate. Do what's working. And Alex, in those books, really, the reason why we believe you should read it is because then you understand the methodology. You understand the thought process behind the marketing and taking a customer through that journey while you're building trust, because you have to do that before they're going to do business with you, before an agent's going to join you, and they have to trust that you can help them get to that result, like you were mentioning.
Yeah. And that's why you need to go. I mean, the books are in order for a reason. That's why you need to have an offer that's so irresistible that people would feel stupid saying no to you. And he breaks down in there, and then he talks about it again, getting into $100 million leads, and he breaks down everything in there to generate the traffic that makes it a lot easier to be able to on the conversion side of things. And then that's what I would tell most agents, right? Most agents know how to help buyers and sellers get the results they're after. It's just having an offer in today's market to buyers and sellers that have a belief that you can help them with less time, sacrifice, and effort get the result that they're after. And it's the same thing for real estate agents. And, before we jumped on, I told you I got to spend the last hour with Curtis Dixon and VP of Agent Growth for EXP, and recording some content that they're going to be dropping here in the near future at EXP on in the world and on EXP YouTube channel. So make sure you Honey Badgers check that out and give us some love when it does drop. And so what the thing there, where the direction of agent development and agent growth at EXP is going, and maybe Curtis was sharing this off the record. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking a little out of context here, but Brian Ellington was brought in to really change the direction and the consumption of training and content, but they're focusing on the newer agents and newer agent development. And you and I have talked about this. I've talked about this to agents out there that are growing teams. And I believe it's easier to focus in and grow newer agents getting into the business than agents that maybe have been in the game for a little while, that are stuck in a pattern of belief. Maybe their beliefs are off, Al, of being reactive. They're back on their heels and they don't know what to do to get out on their toes and be proactive. And maybe they're not hungry enough. Maybe they're not proactive enough. Maybe they're not productive enough. But I just think if you have a great system to attract newer agents, and you have a great training system to get them up and get them to the closing table faster than anybody else, you have a great opportunity to be able to grow at a pretty significant clip moving into the future. Oh, brother, we lost you. We got you muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm driving here back up to Cleveland. There's some background noise I didn't want you guys hearing. There's been one consistent bottleneck that I've seen over and over again from team to team, brokerage to brokerage, and it is, who can help the brand new agent? There's a reason why, what do they say? It's like 80% of agents that have got their license in the last 12 months won't be in the business 5 years from now. And there's a few reasons for that. One is it's fairly easy to get your real estate license. I say fairly easy because a lot of people take a swing at the piñata and they don't pass the test in the first, second, third try, and then they'll get it. But it's not like, going through law school, going through the undergrad, then another, 4 or 5, 6 years of law school, whatever it is, and then having to take the law test, or CPA, or, even being a doctor. When you look at other professions, it's fairly easy to get your real estate license. Therefore, you're going to have a lot coming in with an expectation that anybody can do it. And then when they find out how hard it is, they're like, maybe this isn't for me. And a lot of that so there's that reason. The other reason is because there isn't really a consistent training for newer agents. They're out there. I went through, the Buffini system back when I was with Remax back in the day. It's good. I'm not going to say anything bad about Brian's stuff. It's awesome, but it's just one way, and they're teaching one way. And I think what they're about to launch is really get back to the basics. And then here are all the ways that you can grow your business. You pick the one that feels right for you, and then you go down that path and make sure that you just commit to it. And so I'm excited to see what they got in order for our new honey badgers out there and new people that are coming to EXP.
Yeah, it's just a reminder. I mean, it's what, Harp and I on the growth call today at 1:30 Eastern in the Coach Code Facebook group that we talk about, right? John has, the real estate, fast track that he's put together to help, the Columbus house team do over 400 transactions per year in Columbus, right? And it's just the same process that they've been doing for 10 years. And it's like you said, right? It's get real clear on what are the 1, 2, 3 sources within my specialty that I can really go deep on, not go wide, but go deep on. And then what are the daily activities within my control that I'm able to do to engage and create conversations and also stay relevant and start conversations utilizing social media. And then when I get somebody on the phone to have a conversation, I know how to articulate my value. And it's really those 3 things, right? Get clear on the goal. What are all my revenue, my lead sources, that I'm going to go deep on? Where am I going to focus my time and my energy? What am I going to do daily? And then when I talk to somebody, how do I articulate my value? And it's just constantly what we're constantly teaching. And that's what, John and Ryan have been able to do with the Columbus house team. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the state of Ohio, and they just follow the same process, right? It's like you said, back to the basics. That is the basics, and that's what they teach, and that's what they do.
Well, when you think back to NAEA, and when I was coaching with you, and before that I was coaching with Cliff, when NAEA, when we brought a new coaching client on, we always started with the no cost or low cost leads first. And before you went and spent big money on marketing and this and that, starting with the low hanging fruit. And that was for sale by owners and expireds. And for the last, what would you say, 5 years or so, there hasn't been much to choose from with those. And now we start seeing those 2 lead sources starting to come back. There's more expireds out there. There's more homes that are on the market not selling. And that's what I did. I mean, I just learned the basics. I learned how to speak with someone who just went through 6 months with a realtor and the home didn't sell. So I said to myself, this is a free lead source. And free for the most part. I mean, I used RedX, to grab my, my leads that way. And there was a little bit of a cost to that, but not much. It was a low cost, no cost lead source. But I had to learn the scripts on how to convert them. I had to know how to talk to them. And, you're either committed to, learning those basics or you're not. And there's just be no fast track. You got to learn it. And I dove head first in it. I loved it. And then I made a game of it and I had fun with it. And that was what I was focused on. Those 2 lead sources, that was it. Until I got my business to a point where I was listing FSBOs, I was listing expireds, I was bringing these listings, they were selling, and now I had extra capital to invest into. Okay, let's deploy a attraction, whether it be postcards, whether it be online funnels, which is what we do, and build out for people. But there is a progression to that, and you got to fall in love with the process.
It is, man. It is. I mean, you nailed it right there. Fall in love with the process. And I think it's a shift in the focus. And one of the things that you said there, and reason that there's hesitation or fear, which is all made up. And it's a fear that people attach to, that they make up a story they make up, and they won't reach out because they don't feel that they can help them, or they lose sight that they can. So I think where the focus has to shift out is it has to forget about making the sale, and it's an opportunity to serve. And how can I create value for this individual? Who do I get to help? And I think that's a shift. And instead of who's on my hit list, who's on my help list, and I'm not trying to make a sale, I'm trying to serve them, because I'm just trying to help them by adding value and overcoming the challenges that they're dealing with, and their frustrations and their pain points. And that carries over into anything, right? If you take that same belief concept and you apply it to with like you were saying, for sub owners expired, you take it to buyers that have missed out on multiple offer situations for however long they've been trying to get into a home. You take it to real estate agents that are struggling, that are looking to, they know that there's a better way. You can apply it to working with your affiliates, you're working with your vendors, right? It's like, no, I'm here to serve. I'm not looking for a sale. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. I'm trying to diagnose what you're wrestling with, what you're struggling with. And then let me give you the best prescription to help you achieve what it is you're trying to achieve. And, you talk back to the basics, but that's where it has to start, right? It has to start in our minds and in relation to what it is that we're trying to do. What's our goal? And how can I help as many people achieve their goals? And then my goals will take care of themselves.
Spot on. We got any questions you see in there?
No questions yet. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've got any questions, anything you're wrestling with, any constraints, throw it in. Me and Mr. Albie will love to dive in and unpack whatever you guys are wrestling with. I know Cuz is at the Go High Level Conference in Dallas, Texas today. And so one thing I do want to talk about is, our dear friend, Jana Olselton, who had Model My Home and Home Staging, the Home Staging Association. She's been Michael Reese's stager almost his entire career of real estate in North Dallas, the North Dallas market. And she has her annual conference here in North Dallas every year. I had the opportunity to speak at it last year, and she's got it coming up again in a couple weeks. And they really made the transition now more on the investment side of things, to where they're really focused on investing and investment opportunities and bridging the gap between investments and real estate agents and professionals. And so she has that event coming up. I'm having her on kind of a special Expert Mentors edition on Wednesday, tomorrow, to talk about the event and what to expect. And I know she's going to drop a promo code to get a ticket at no cost to her for being a honey badger, being able to get that opportunity. So if you're in the North Dallas DFW area, or you can make it in November, I think 11th and 12th here into Frisco, and make it into the Frisco market for that event, and you're looking to up your investment game, or you're working with clientele that are investors to kind of help bridge that gap, it'd be a great event to come to. I know Michael is speaking, and I know Levi, the YouTube, on the YouTube side of things. I know Levi's speaking as well. So Jana will be on kind of a special Expert Mentors edition tomorrow. And if you guys tune in and being able to grab that promo code, if you're looking to get to an event mid-November pertaining to investment opportunities for yourself or investment opportunities with your clients, it'd be good to get to.
Honey Badger Live, or excuse me, honeybadgernation.com to get the link to that Expert Mentors, right?
Yes, sir. That's where it's at. honeybadgernation.com, go-to resource.
John, I don't want to misspeak. You had mentioned kitchen table at the beginning, and then you had mentioned the Facebook group. Is that Facebook group where you and John do your thing? Is that for just your coaching members for Coaching Code, or can anybody get in that?
Anybody can get in.
Okay.
It's an open group. Just go and request access. We'll plug you in, but we go live in there at 1:30 Eastern every Tuesday, and John goes through that process.
How do they find the group? Do they just type in Coaching Code into Facebook?
Yeah, Coach Code, Facebook group, and then just request access. We'll get you in, and mark it on your calendar. We go 1:30. We go live 1:30 Eastern on Tuesdays. John just goes. I think John has one of the Columbus House team agents on the call today, talking about how applied, what John teaches to have his success in today's market and moving forward. So not only do you hear John talk about it, but you actually have actual case studies and success stories with it as well.
Yeah, so I didn't want to misspeak and tell everybody, but get into that Facebook group. And if you're struggling, if you're because that's specifically for stages 1 and stages 2. Basically, if you're between 0 to 20 transactions and you're trying to break through, if you're at 0 trying to get to your first 5, if you're at 5 trying to get to your first 15 or 20 or what have you, that call is perfect for that. So get in there. If you're struggling, there's no reason whatsoever that you guys can't get in, block the timeout, and dig in. When I was at Kitchen Table, and I can't tell you the hundreds and hundreds of real estate training events, masterminds that I've been to. And then I came to Kitchen Table in Pittsburgh, and I found myself, just kind of hitting the pause button and having that awareness. Like, I have pages and pages of notes, and half of them was for the content that was being shared. The other half of those notes was just coming from what was happening in my own mind, because I put myself in an environment of learning, and all of a sudden my mind started working differently. It started, those juices start flowing, the innovation starts coming out, and then I start, like, I'll hear something that someone shares, and it'll spark something in the back of my brain that I probably forgot about, that I learned, a long time ago. So it was invaluable. And I came back and I was like, Jay, we need to be doing this, this, and this. And then, you implement that most important thing. And that's how you start to get traction. That's how you start to get momentum. It starts in those rooms. So if you can't get yourself to a kitchen table or anything like that, plug into the free resources. That's what they're there for. Go all in, plug in, commit, and you will start to see results. And if you don't, get in my calendar and we'll try to figure it out together. Get on John's. But we're here to help and make it so that you don't have to dig into your pocket to spend money to get into the right environment. That's why we created Honey Badger Nation.
Love it. So good. So good. Well, brother, I really think it's the connections in the community, getting plugged in, establishing those relationships, finding somebody that you could ride with. I talked with, just with Curtis a little bit today there, kind of wrapping up, was, revisiting and making sure we're clear on the goal. Knowing exactly what is the goal. Is that really the goal? And then reverse engineering down, what does it take daily, weekly, within my control to make progress on that goal? Once you have that, then it's the allocation of time, which goes back to the Sunday planning, really the productivity of maximizing the 168, which the 168 hours every week that we all have, and the allocation of time on the activities that matter the most. It doesn't matter if you're working, 80 hours, 50 hours, 10 hours. The rule of thumb is 70% of your working time has to be allocated to the things that move your business forward, the things within your control to move it. And it's going to be around traffic conversion and fulfillment. I mean, just doing those things to move your business forward. And then the last thing is kind of what you're talking about, right? Is like we all need that accountability. And it's why, I tell, stage 1, stage 2 agents to get on a team, right? Because most teams provide accountability. Great teams provide the accountability. If not, it's that whole plus, minus, and equal, concept. We've all got to have mentors and coaches that are driving us. We've all got to have a minus, somebody that we're leading, coaching, mentoring, and then we all need that equal, right? Somebody that we're riding side by side with, that's pushing us, that's holding us accountable, and we all need it, right? I mean, Elle and I have accountability. I send her an email at the end of the day. Who are my 2 people that I talked to that I followed up with, and who are the 2 people that I'm going to reach out to help tomorrow? And so we all have to have accountability. It doesn't matter what you're doing, and being able to have that and have a metric around it is key. Got you muted again, brother.
I was just agreeing with you. Well, if we don't have any questions, that's I guess that's a good thing. I mean, you guys are all working hard and it's all clicking on all cylinders, right?
Yeah, so, I would challenge everybody listening to this, when you get on this call, Come with a question. I know for us, we learned that in many of the programs that we were a part of, and it really opened the door for us where we stayed such students and stayed so inquisitive. And I remember it was really me and Kinder with working, the initial workings with Jay Abraham, and Kinder and I would meet. Good 30 minutes before we got on our call, we would line out all the questions, all the things that we were wrestling with, things that we would want clarity around. And we would be the first in queue. And as soon as he answered our question, we got right back in queue again. And Al, we know what happens with those group training, coaching programs that go for a period of time. The longer they go on, the fewer people that get on at the end. So before long, I mean, we had half of the call. We were getting private, almost like private coaching sessions from Jay Abraham. And I think that's why he loves us so much. And we were able to have such a great relationship with him, is because, I mean, we picked his brain. We were so inquisitive. We were always showing up, asking questions. And that's what I would challenge everybody listening in is, we appreciate y'all getting on, jumping on these calls, but come with a question. And I know you guys are wrestling with stuff. I know you are. If you're doing something, you're meeting a constraint. And like I said in the beginning, if you're hitting your goal, great, increase your goal. So now you're no longer hitting your goal. And what is the constraint that's stopping you from hitting your goal? And that's the question you need to be figuring out.
Yeah, and I'll also just kind of throw this in there too, is that, we're all getting bombed with 1,000 things every week of, hey, buy this, buy that, shiny objects everywhere. And a lot of focus has to do with what to say no to. And you mentioned it earlier, what's the goal? Your goal could be, look, I just need to get, I got a message from one of our guys who's like, look, man.
Oh.
And he's like, I need help. I'm about to go get a full or a part-time job. And, but he reached out to me. I know I can help him, but I can't help you if you guys don't plug in and reach out. And so everybody struggles. We struggle. Like, there's times where we're in meetings and we're like, man, and we get stuck and we're like, all right, we're gonna have to pick this back up. But we are making momentum. Even when it doesn't feel like we have momentum going, there is momentum. We say no to the things that we have to say no to because we're clear on the goal, and we are going to figure it out. There's always a way, and usually there's more than one way. It's a matter of just putting that energy toward it, that focus, and commit. And if you guys are committed, we can help you. But if you're not committed, we can't help you. So
no, I love that. And Al, asking for help is a superpower, and it's being able to set the ego aside and knowing that, we all need help. We all need help. And I think the more that you lean into that, the more that you realize there's more people out there wanting to help than what you think. And so don't be afraid to always reach out and ask. Is one. And Carolyn, I know you're asking, is kind of what Al was talking about. And, the force of distraction is a real thing. And you've got to remember a couple things. A distraction is only a distraction if you give it the energy. And so when you find, if you're struggling with things, it's better to subtract than it is to try to really fight it. So like, if you struggle with eating popcorn and dark chocolate covered almonds every damn night, don't put popcorn and dark chocolate covered almonds in the house. That's me, right? So it's the same thing with social media. Take the damn apps off your phone. It was funny. I know you listen to a lot of Rogan. I heard one of the episodes, he got a new phone, doesn't have any apps on it. And if they can't find you, they can't distract you. That's always the reminder, right? If they can't get to you, they can't distract you. So take that stuff off your phone. If you're subject to it, if it's not serving you, if it's not moving you closer, and this is what Al said, what is the goal? What are we moving towards? We're all moving towards freedom. We all better be moving towards freedom. And what does that freedom look like? And what you have to look at is, okay, is me spending 30 minutes on social media right now moving me closer to my freedom, or is it moving me further away? And I think it's growth through subtraction.
Yeah, I literally just listened to that episode yesterday in the gym, and it was the one with the guy, one of the founders of OpenAI, right? Is that the one? Or he may
It
have
might have
mentioned
been.
it
I
on
think
an
I think I caught
episode.
a clip somewhere.
But Joe is his point is that how many times has he been sitting on the bathroom and he'll be like in there in the morning for an hour stuck to his Instagram, and he's like, and then when he gets off, he feels guilty. He's like, I just know I just wasted that entire hour of my day that I'm not going to get back, and I'm going to get no value whatsoever out of it. And that's what he did. He got a new phone. It's got no apps. It's for texting and calling only, and maybe his calendar. But there's no social media. If he has to send a tweet, if he has to, make a post on, Instagram or Facebook, whatever, he has to go get his other phone, deliberately open it, pull it up, make it, then put it away. And it's not only made him infinitely more productive, but it also made him happier.
Yes.
It made him happier. Think about that. Like, do you ever scroll for, on, see, in this one, I don't even have this app. What's the social media platform that with all the reels on it? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't have it. Snap. No. The other one that I can't think of. But I don't even have that on my app. That's why I can't think of the name of it. I don't even have it on my phone at all, because I will go down that rabbit hole. TikTok. I don't even have TikTok on my phone.
I don't either.
I don't have it because I will go down a rabbit hole and I'll be on there for 45 minutes watching mindless things. Is it entertaining? Probably. I used to smoke cigarettes way back in the day. When you smoke a cigarette, you get that initial feeling of, where it's like, oh yeah, it feels good. And then you feel like crap after. It tastes bad. You know that you just put poison in your body, and it's just bad. And so I just eliminated it. I hid all my other apps off of my homepage, so I have to physically go and find them versus it making it real easy for me to click on it. Remove those distractions. You're not only going to be more productive, you're going to be happier. And hey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I think it's just it's what we talk about in the Sunday planning. It's also the Gotta minutes, so you're able to go tackle more things, but you're also you find where you get that those chemical hits. And one thing that I've noticed, for me recently, Al, it's just because I guess I have so many conversations every day like you do. I get more fulfillment having deep, meaningful conversations than I do looking at short little bites of bullshit information that's just not serving me or helping me, be a better human or be a better leader, or be a better dad, just be a better person. And I think that I don't know if that comes with age, with maturity. I don't know, but for me, it's more valuable to spend that time than getting sucked into other things.
Well, and you talked about the Sunday planning. Get these calls in your calendar, and that way when you're going to go to social media, you have a reason you're going there. It's not to scroll and see, whose birthday it is, or what drama's going on this or that or whatever. I mean, I get it. There's certain people I love to follow. Was it Patrick Bet David? There's certain just personalities that I find fascinating. But I go there for a purpose, and I'm probably missing out on a ton of stuff. But it's not things that are going to propel my business or make me happier. It's just soaking up time. And what was that? No downtime, net time, no extra time.
Yep.
Net time means no extra time. There's no extra time. You should be filling it. When I'm at the gym, I used to listen to music. I love music. You love music. We all love it. I try to fill my brain with things that are going to expand it, make me think differently, so that then I can then transfer that value to the people that need it from me. Because if I'm stuck on social media just mindlessly scrolling through memes all day, I won't have nothing to give. There ain't going to be anything of value in my tank that I can transfer, to the people that I love and that I want to help. So get them off your home screen, get your calendar dialed in, come on aboard, when we're going live or when there's a training, and then get off of it and get back to the tasks that are in your priority list.
Love it. Brother, I appreciate you. I know a couple things here, and we'll wrap up and let you awesome honey badgers on your way. But Al, what Joe Rogan, was that one of the most recent episodes?
Yeah, it was. Can't remember the gentleman's name, but it is toward the top. It's not the very last one, but it's toward the top. And you'll see it. It says he's the founder of OpenAI. It's not the most entertaining, but it is very, it's educational. They go very deep on some subjects, on, the AI revolution and why it's causing fear and what people are, thinking like it's going to turn into. I mean, shoot, when the internet came out big, and I always say right around 2000, it was around prior to that, but no one like I think realtor.com didn't come out till like 99 or 2000, maybe 2001. And I remember in my Century 21 office, they thought that the sky was falling. The internet was going to take all of our jobs away and everything like that, and I think that there's some really good insights in there. If anyone wants to go listen to that episode, I think it's worth a listen.
It's episode 2044 with Sam Altman. Somebody threw it in here.
That's
so
it.
Thank you for sharing
Altman.
That with Sam Altman. So check that out. And then the Sunday planning, guys. I mean, I'm going to tell you, if I can kind of go back, one of the most fundamental things that changed for me over the last 5 years was implementing Sunday planning. And you can go to sundayplanning168.com and download the Sunday planning process and really kind of go through that process. And I know my weeks, my most productive weeks are the weeks that I go through and really check the box on everything. The weeks that I kind of skate over it or half-ass it a little bit, that's about how my week goes. So I know the importance of it, how important it is, and it doesn't allow, it frees you up in the mind to focus on the things that matter the most around your health, around your relationships, and around your business.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you, man. Epic times. And I know we had a magical milestone last week, so it was fun and honored to be there to celebrate that with you and your family. And I know it was fantastic and many more magical moments ahead.
Appreciate y'all coming down to beautiful Key West and making some great memories. So love you.
Love you too, brother. We'll see you guys.
All right, guys.